this is my location for the 2 following meditations. So by all means, lie down if that works for you, or alternatively, you can stand or sit or walk around. As long as it's not going to, if you think you're going to be moving around quite a bit, if you've got a degree of pain or want to keep warm, then just maybe camera off if you are moving about. But otherwise, feel free to have your camera on, whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm going to move over here now. I think I'll be louder if I relocate. So just bear with me. Okay, just whilst you find your position. Okay. So really it's just a case of if you guys can hear me, if my voice, if I get the meditation voice thing going and I go quiet, too quiet, then please, by all means, somebody just say, I can't hear you, Kate. And then I will speak up and project, hopefully. Okay, so just timing this. So this is going to be called, this is called a breathing, 3-part breathing space meditation. So settling into your position. As I say, mine is evidently lying down. And just allowing your body just to release as much as it wants to. So we're not forcing anything or trying to achieve or do anything here. We're just having a bit of time out, really, in terms of the daily activities, etc. So allowing the surface to support you, be that the chair, your buttocks on the chair, your feet on the ground. Perhaps your back is resting against a chair or the back of the sofa. Or if you're lying, feeling those contact points at the back of your body, so the back of your head, your upper back, your lower back, buttocks, perhaps the backs of your legs if your legs are straight, the soles of your feet, maybe if your legs are bent. Really allowing that surface to hold you. So, as I say, we can let the surface hold us now, support us. We don't need to hold ourselves, which I find quite a relief when I actually allow that to settle, that realization. Settling into gravity, if you like, allowing gravity to hold and support. Then gradually allowing your awareness to settle upon your breath. Where can you feel the breath in your body most vividly? Perhaps if you're lying, you might feel the breath beneath your hands, if you've got your hands resting on your belly like I have. The rise and the fall of the abdomen. Or perhaps you can feel the breath in your chest. Maybe if you're sitting, you could feel the gentle expansion on either side of your rib cage. The sides of your arms, the inner sides of your arms.
Perhaps you can feel the breath in the back of the body if you're lying. The breath is as much in the back of the body as it's in the front. I suppose we often think of the chest being the area where the lungs are, but actually the lungs fill the whole of the thoracic cavity. So that breath can really be felt sometimes at the back of the body as well. And that can feel quite soothing. So just allowing your attention just to settle on an area where you can feel the breath, the natural breath. So we've literally been here, nearly 5 minutes, this meditation. So I don't know about you guys, but my mind is still whizzing a bit. So maybe just becoming aware now of our minds and our thoughts. Are we having any thoughts at this particular moment? Perhaps, I can't feel the breath. Where's the breath? Or, why am I doing this? Why did I come? Or this is great, actually, I need this. So what we're doing here is we're training our awareness, not to abolish thinking, but just to become aware of thinking. And there's a real difference in that. So just allowing those thoughts to pass through the mind. Very easily said, I know. And likewise with emotions, are we feeling any emotions at the moment? If you're experiencing an emotion, where can you feel it? Can you feel it in any particular part of your body, maybe? Perhaps a lightness, or perhaps a heaviness. Maybe a sense of anxiety even. Whatever you're feeling, there's space for it all. Space for the thoughts, space for the feelings. Are you experiencing any sensations in your body at this present moment? Are you still aware of the breath, perhaps? What does it feel like in your body? Is there any comfort to be found in the breath? I know I can find my breath quite comforting and soothing, especially when I've got like a painful day. I find the breath a really reassuring place to return to. Soothing, comforting, tender breath. So now, as I bring this short meditation to a close, just broadening out your attention to the whole of your body, the weight, the body on the surface, those contact points, resting down, held by gravity. The breath in the whole of the body. If you've had your eyes closed, then opening your eyes perhaps, or raising your gaze if you just lowered your eyes. Just coming back into the space around you, letting the light in. As I bring this meditation to a close. Okay, so just take a minute or so, just have a quick break, and then we'll come back for another meditation. I'm going to do a meditation called the breathing anchor. So if you need a loo break or a quick swig of coffee or something, by all means, do that now. See you in a minute. So it's always hard to know if people are there when their screens are off. So I'm going to assume and hope that people have not gone on too much of a vacation and that they're, hey, there's a thumbs up. I like that, Peter. Well done. Excellent. Oh my gosh, he's over there now. Right. Brilliant. Okay, so same rule really. If we're going to talk rules in terms of there are no rules. Stand, sit, lie, whatever works for you during this next meditation. I think I should just say, actually, just before I start, that I will be using water imagery, a boat sort of metaphor in this meditation. So if you're not good with water, perhaps make the vessel as big as you can. So I talk about a boat in this meditation, but maybe you'd like to imagine a ship if you're not good with water. And likewise, if you're not good, focusing on the breath, some people can find that quite triggering, especially if you're quite new to meditation. We're not used to doing that. So by all means, focus on the weight of your body, say, sitting or lying, or something outside of you, focusing on, often I focus just on a lampshade. I find that quite stabilizing. So there are, as I say, it's your experience. So there's no obligation to follow my guidance. Okay. So settling down again then.
This is called the breathing anchor meditation. Okay.
Okay. So once again, feeling that surface supporting you, be it the sofa or the floor or a chair. And allowing it to support you. And now I'd like you to imagine a scene. So I'll try and paint this scene as vividly as I can. Imagining a boat. So this boat could be perhaps, I like to think of a yacht, like a white sort of yacht. In perhaps the Mediterranean, maybe Greece. Or you could go more exotic like the Caribbean or the Bahamas, if that works for you. Just imagining this boat arriving in a bay. So it's quite a sheltered bay, but there is a light breeze. So you've arrived in the bay and you decide that you're going to lie down on the deck. So laying down on the deck, or sitting on the deck if that works for you, you can feel the heat of the sun gently absorbing into your body. Surrounded by a sparkling azure sea, that special light you get, say in the Mediterranean. So the light is sort of twinkling off the sort of very gentle flow of the water. And then some kind person on the boat gently starts to lower the anchor. So lying there, you can feel the reverberations of the anchor passing through the hull of the boat. Just the gentle unwinding of it as it meets the resistance of the water. It's gently lowered. And then you feel it. You feel the anchor as it touches and lands upon the ocean floor. And then the boat feels sort of secure. So even though there is a gentle breeze, you can also feel sort of held by this anchor that's resting down below the boat. So it's a bit of a technical fact. I'm sure some of you know this. I didn't know it, but I know it now. That when the wind or a breeze blows on a boat, it tends to turn its hull into the wind. So it sort of faces into the wind, or bow. I'm not sure of my marine terminology, but the front of the boat faces into the wind. So this boat, it is moving around. It's not static. It's not frozen. It's not in a block of ice. It's definitely moving around. But this anchor is holding it. So it always sort of comes back. There's that gentle tug, then it comes back to the anchor. So just resting there, feeling the ripples of the water through the boat. The gentle tug of the anchor. The sun on your body, soothing, enabling your body just to relax and be held by the boat. So in this meditation, I'm using the idea of the boat or the anchor as a symbol or as a metaphor for the breath. So when we focus on the breath, we're not focusing on a static sort of object. The breath is like a dynamic process, if you like. So that's why this meditation is called the breathing anchor, because there's this dynamic anchor of the breath that we're focusing on. So the boat moving around on the ocean currents beneath it, there's all that movement, just like there's constant movement of the breath going in and out of the body. We can just allow our attention just to settle on that dynamic movement. And I suppose in this image, the wind could be considered the sort of mental events, if you like, the thoughts, perhaps the emotions as well, passing through us. I like that, the expression I heard not long back, the worldly winds. I really like that. So it's like the worldly winds of our mind, our thoughts. Like that boat, we're sort of being moved around by those thoughts, by those mental events. I know mental events sounds a bit of a weird one, but I'm using that term because they really are just mental events. They're not us. They're like that wind passing through the boat. You know, the sails have been lowered and the wind is just passing through. Likewise, thoughts and emotions, they can arrive, we can acknowledge them, and then we can just allow them to pass on through. And yes, we will be moved, we can be moved, we can buy into a thought, we can chase a thought, we can push a thought away. But we can also bring our attention back each time to the breath. So each time to the breathing anchor. So that dynamic movement, perhaps we can feel that beneath our hands. The diaphragm moves up and down into the abdomen and back up into the chest. Perhaps we can feel it in the back of our body. A changing pressure if you're lying, perhaps, with the surface beneath you. Perhaps we could feel the breath on the top of our lip, or entering, leaving our nostrils. Just a slight warmth or a slight coolness. And all the while, this breath can be considered a soothing, kindly breath, a softening breath. So any bracing we might be wanting to do, or any emotions we might be experiencing that might be slightly difficult or painful, or any sensations, this breath can soothe all of that. Perhaps we can even feel our heart softening. We can feel a sense of lovingness and kindliness towards ourselves. We're giving ourselves this time. We've each made the effort to get here today. So feeling and allowing ourselves to feel kindliness and tenderness towards ourselves. So I'm just going to give us a couple of moments now, because I've been talking a lot, just to be with the breath in any way which works for us. So what's happening now? Perhaps your attention has floated away. If it has, just noting that, and gently bringing your attention back to your breath, to the breathing anchor. So it's not a doing or an activity or trying. It's more a allowing our attention just to focus and rest upon the breath. Perhaps even becoming the breath. Just that's all there is. Just the breath. And now, broadening out your awareness to the whole of your body. So if you're focusing on a particular area of your breath, and perhaps becoming aware of your breath in the whole of your body, the whole of your torso, your joints, everything moves with the breath. Has reverberations throughout the whole of the body. Feeling the weight of the body again, the contact points, the surface supporting you, the shape of your body. Maybe introducing a little bit of movement that works for you. Maybe moving your fingers slightly or your toes, rocking your knees maybe side to side. Maybe just reminding yourself that this breath isn't going anywhere, hopefully, and that it's always there throughout the rest of the day, the rest of your lives, to return to.